National and University Libraries in Kliment Охридски Skopje is a library institution that occupies a central place in the functioning and development of the library system in the Republic of North Macedonia. In addition to its basic legal obligation for the development of the library activity, culture, science and education, it also procures, professionally processes, studies, presents, preserves and digitizes library funds. Hence, the organization and coordination of the process of digitization of library funds, according to international and national standards and criteria, has been a priority of the National Library for the last 20 years. The adoption of the strategy for digitization of special collection 2008-2011 is the beginning of the organized process of digitization of library materials in the country. 2010 marks the beginning of the realization of the technical segments of the digitization process and placing the digitized collection on the website dlib.mk. During this period, the digitization process is limited to the library funds of the National Library. But in 2013, based on partnership agreement with other legal and private entities, digitization of library materials which are not owned by the library was started, and conditions for transformation of dlib.mk into the Digital Library of Macedonia were created. Following the world trends for liberalization of access to information and their exchange between countries through the application of digitization methods, in the 90s of the last century, NUL began the first initiatives to make a modest contribution to the world information space. In 1999-1996, the first experimental database of digitized manuscript was created, and about 120 manuscripts containing 14,000 pages were digitized and stored in TIFF format. In the period from 1999 to 2002, 70 Old Slavic manuscripts from the Archaeographic Center were digitized and published on 3 CDs with 1,500 digitized pages, and a website for searching the digitized contents was developed. In 2001, in cooperation with Senela, in the publication European Digital Library, a digitized copy of the manuscript Fragment from Lent and Triodion was published, and for the Gabriel portal, digitized materials from 3 manuscripts has been submitted. In the following period, the library takes part in the several European projects such as Minerva, Kalimera and Tell Me More, which aim at developing programs and policies for digitization. In partnership with National Library of Slovenia and University Library of Graz in 2007, NUL started the ESO project, which resulted in the preparation of the strategy for digitization of the special collection in NUL 2008-2011. From 2008 to 2010, NUL was part of the European Library with 20 digitized objects of old maps, Old Slavic and Oriental manuscript, contemporary writings and all printed books. During 2013, in cooperation with the Yunus Emre Institute in project Reconstruction of the Cultural Heritage of the Balkan, about 3,600 manuscripts with 900,000 pages from the Oriental collection were digitized and 2 digital camera Canon EOS 600D were donated. With STEL, Europeana Foundation and Senela, in 2016, the project Collection of South and East Europe in Europeana 2015-2016 was accomplished, and 1 digital collection, Postcards from Macedonia before 1946, was presented. Strategy for digitization of the special collection in NUL 2008-2011 have strategic purposes such as long-term preservation, easy access to the special collection, proclaimed as cultural heritage for the interested users. Its objective aims are creation of digital objects, selection and evaluation of library materials, determination of necessary staff and ICT equipment, long-term preservation of digital content, creation of digital archive and system for protection, defining standards of formats and protocols. Strategy for digitization, digital archiving and management of digital objects 2017 aims to develop and validate digital collections, metadata information, nomenclature, formats and types of the digital object, to develop and describe the disposition process, evaluate the procedure for migration of the digital object, copyright regulation, online presentation of the digital collection, staffing of the digitization department, proposing the necessary equipment, hardware and software for the digitization process, as well as future projects and recommendations. The digitization department is equipped with scanner Zoichel OS 14000, 2 digital camera Canon EOS 600D, data storage capacity 196 TB, server HP-DL 318P, network equipment and graphic workstations. Initial equipment was procured in 2009. In 2014-2015, new digitization equipment and an upgrade of the old one is made. The Digital Library of Macedonia currently contains 8 collections: archaeography, that includes the most valuable collection in the library, such as Old Slavic manuscript and all printed and rare monographic publication, audiobooks, ephemera, cartographics material, the art collection, music collection, a collection of rare periodical materials, and the latest BIM collection. The Digital Library of Macedonia, through its portal dlib.mk, provides its visitors with access to various bibliographic contents such as books, manuscript, magazines, periodicals, maps, notes, audio materials, graphics, with the task to preserve, present and distribute as a part of the program for protection of cultural heritage and promotion of our culture to the public. The use of digital collection is carried out in accordance with the national legislation, and the protection of copyright is regulated by the Creative Commons license. By signing an agreement for the exchange of digital collection with the Europeana Foundation, their copyright protection provisions have been taken over. BIM is a project of the Institute Dante Alighieri in Skopje, the Association Dante Alighieri in Rome, the National University Library St. Kliment Ohridski in Skopje, the National Central Library in Rome, UKIM, and the Embassy of the Republic of Italy in Skopje. The aim of these projects, funded by Association Dante Alighieri in Rome, is to popularize Italian culture through the protection and presentation of manuscript and rare Italian language books from the valuable funds of the National Library. Within the projects, 2 workshops for students from the State University in Skopje and the Nova Secondary School about restoration, conservation and digitization of old text were realized. As a result of the project's activities, within the 18th week of the Italian language in Skopje, the exhibition where the Sea Sound Suite Journey through the History of the Italian Language was organized. The meetings between library experts from National Central Library in Rome and the National University Library in Skopje were held in order to exchange experiences. The final activities of the projects were accompanied by the exhibition of some of the funds of the National Library in Skopje, with special emphasis of the collection that represent cultural heritage and the materials that were digitized within the project. The Italian Digital Library in North Macedonia, BIM, is the latest digital collection available through the portal of the Digital Library of Macedonia, dlib.mk, and together with other collection is an integral part of the most valuable digital collection of library materials in the state. BIM is a part of the project with the same name, realized by National and University Libraries in Kliment Охридски Skopje and the Institute Dante Alighieri in Skopje. The Italian Digital Library in North Macedonia contains library material by Italian authors dating from the 16th and 17th century in Italian and Latin. The collection consists of 5 manuscripts with content in the field of medicine, algebra and literature, as well as 8 old printed books that deal with topics mainly in the field of literature. The collection can be searched by author, language, year of publication or creation, topic and type of library materials. The process of digitization started with the selection of materials by experts from the Dante Alighieri Institute Skopje and the Department for Italian Language from the University of Skopje. Manuscript and old printed books were selected, and accordingly the digitization workflow, an assessment was made of the physical condition of the materials in the Center for Protection. After small interventions, a positive opinion was given, and in the Digitization Center, the existence of a bibliographic descriptions for the materials in the National Library System kobis.mk was checked. The digitization was performed on a Zoichel scanner, and 3 digital copies were created. Archive copy with 600 dpi resolution without compression in TIFF format for long-term protection and access, user copy with 300 dpi resolution with compression in JPEG format, and web copy with 72 dpi resolution compressed in PDF format. Control of digital objects and their post-production has been made. Due to the consistency of the metadata, NUL implements the interoperability policy between the electronic catalog kobib.mk and the Digital Library of Macedonia. According to the international standards, two types of descriptive metadata has been created, Dublin Core and EDM. In the end, an additional validation of the files, metadata and nomenclature was made, and the obtained document is attached to the dlib.mk platform in a specially formed folder with a brief description of the collection.